Hey, what's up everyone? My name is College Sports Survived and I welcome you back to the channel today for a brand new journey on a brand new game using a brand new style of videos. This is my NCAA Basketball 10 Speed Dynasty mode here on College Sports Survived. And I wanted to bring you guys a new series today for a lot of different reasons, but one of them being we just hit 3,000 subscribers. I wanted to touch on that first and foremost. I appreciate you guys to the fullest, and I thought it was a perfect time to launch something new, and I've been thinking about it for a long time to bring a new style of video, something more bite-sized and smaller, smaller project versus my 60, 70, sometimes 100 episode series. So I think this is a great opportunity to do that, just hitting the 3,000 subscriber threshold. And once again, I have nothing but appreciation for you all, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you guys are new to the channel, I'm College Sports Survived. I mostly do college basketball and football videos, mostly basketball. Occasionally I'll dabble into the NBA 2K realm, but for the most part, it's college hoops, more specifically college hoops 2K8 on this series. I've started my career that went through college hoops, and then I took that player into the NBA. That was a 100 episode series. I've actually created Coach Carter, one of my favorite people from not only movies in general, but the basketball zeitgeist ever since I started following it when I was, I don't even know, before I could walk. I created him in Legacy mode in 2K8, and we've just watched his career unfold in that game. But this time, I've decided to try something a little bit smaller on a game that I'm not as familiar with, using a brand new concept. Here on Dynasty mode, I will be starting a speed rebuild today, which, as you can see, I've already created my coach a little bit. I went with the beige chute to kind of match the trim of the team that I chose. And in case you missed it, in case if the big logo in the background didn't give it away, I'm thinking we start a legacy mode, or I guess it's called Dynasty here in NCAA Basketball 10, where we do mostly simulation, and we would maybe stop the episode on a big game. But I want to sim pretty much the entire season, aim for one season per episode, unless we get to a huge game like March Madness or the championship of our conference tournament. But for the most part, we'll be simulating a lot of different games pretty much the entire season. I want to aim for one season per episode in this rebuild, so it's kind of like a sprint more than it is a marathon like most of my series. And another cool thing that NCAA Basketball 10 has that my favorite game of all time, College Hoops 2K, does not, is the ability to jump into any game you want at any time during the simcast. So if I wanted to jump in with 19 seconds left, we're down by 1 and we need the basket to win, we can hop in and we're going to watch CPU versus CPU gameplay. I think I have some CPU sliders that I'm going to insert in here that I've looked online and found, so we're going to give those a try. And I think this could be a lot of fun. It's a lot more different than, other series I've done. And not only during the gameplay and the game itself and the game mode, but also I'm trying live commentary for a change as I move on here. I went with up-tempo basketball. And yep, in case the logo at the beginning didn't give it away, we will be using the Army Black Knights out of the Patriot League. In case you guys are new to the channel, I'm actually in the Army myself. That's what I do for work. So I think it would be cool to pay homage to, my roots a little bit here. And they are tied with American University as the worst team in the Patriot League in this game, and they have a long way to go. So here's the settings we're going to run with in the Dynasty mode. I just set it to the maximum 30 years. I remember in this game as a kid playing it, there wasn't many injuries, so I'm going to try it on high and see what happens there. And then obviously Gamecast is going to be essential for this series. I read online that the CPU handles subs not very well. Not a lot of bench players get minutes, so somebody recommended online that I put the foul out to 4 to kind of mitigate that and give the reserve some more time. So I'm going to try that out, see how that goes. And then here is the settings that I took from Operation Sports. I don't really worry about the user because I'm not going to be playing. Honestly, I'm kind of terrible at this game. And here's the, and that's part of the reason why we're doing CPU versus CPU, but here's the CPU settings. This will be a lot more important to this style of series. And here in the ESPNU season preview, the magazine has a rather macabre outlook on my career. Some think their coaches' days on campus may be numbered. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that one. Definitely kind of a harsh way to begin this rebuild, but let's see. We got Lafayette, who's preseason picked to win it all. Our team's previewed, so let's see. We're gonna need a lot, it looks like. I've barely taken a look at the roster at all, but we have 8 scholarships to dish out. How many seniors do we have? That probably would have been a good idea to look at this team, because if we have 8 scholarships to give out, we probably have a lot of seniors, and this thing might have to get worse before it gets better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 seniors and a handful of juniors as well. We have 6 of them as well. We have 1 underclassman on this team, which is absolutely ludicrous. But here's the team. So starting at point guard, our best player, Torrey Wicks, 6'3" senior, who has a bit of a shot. Dylan Vaughn, our 6'9" center, power post archetype, 61 field goal rating. And I'm sure we'll get to know these guys more and more as we go along. I'm not going to spend too much time on the roster here, and we might have to do some redshirting, to be honest, if we're going to be this strapped for players next year. Eric Noland, our 4. Kyle Trainer, 64 overall, starting small forward. Might have to play some small ball, move somebody. We got Corey Molina, who is our best shooter, playing the 2 guard, and our only underclassman, so perhaps somebody to build around. Anthony Collins, Marcus Perry. I don't know why he's so far up in the depth chart, but do we have any bench depth at all in the front court? Not really at all. A lot of guards. We have 1 center coming off the bench. This is going to be rough, very rough here, as we need to form a more cohesive team, a more balanced team position-wise, as you can see. Mark Cooley was one of the guys I wanted to redshirt. Although 69 3-point shot, that's one of the best on the team. We just need the scoring here in season 1. Jamian Rutledge, Marcus Perry, Brian Bates, all backup guards really, Matthias Crossley. And then the 2 guys I redshirted was Tylen Howell, a 6'4" wing player. Bobby Ruiz, one of the fastest, most athletic players on the team. I redshirted him as well. So I just finished up the schedule here for season 1. I kept some games and I left some games the same. We'll be starting out the series at Penn State. Got to play the Fordham Rams, obviously. We'll have Air Force. I want to play them every year, just like we play Navy every year. What else? We got Cincinnati. Got some big-time programs in here. We get Missouri at home. That was actually on the schedule like that, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Obviously, the Skyhawks of UT Martin will be welcoming him to our new home December 16th. And then conference play starts January 2nd, and I believe you play everybody in the Patriot League twice. And I'll have to look up what it takes to get to the conference tournament. I'm not really sure if they take everyone or if they take the top 4, top 6, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to have to get right with that before we get to that point. Preseason training. So the first thing that I noticed is that this team cannot shoot the ball at all. Let's put that up to, we'll start out with 50. And offense, we'll do maybe 15 and 15. I'll give defense a little bit more. We'll do this for the guards. And then for the bigs, I've noticed that guys in this game, their conditioning, the big men, are not nearly as good as guards. So we'll make more of a focus point on that for them. Offensive skills also as well. We'll touch shooting a little bit, but I think this right here is kind of what I'm aiming for. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting, because it's kind of funny here in year 1. We need 8, or we have 8 scholarships. We don't necessarily need 8 signees. But when you think about it, though, and the turnover this team is going to see in these next couple years, we kind of do need all 8 to be filled up, or at least 7, you know. So some things that I do know that there's pipeline states in this game. I know what the top right means. You got McDonald's All-American, ESPN Top 100, all states. The state's Mr. Basketball. I'm not really sure what the P means, though. Keep in mind, if you guys have any advice, if you guys pick up on something that I don't, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I believe in this section, we're just putting 25 prospects maximum on our board, and then we'll get into recruiting in the next screen. Got the first 3-star, Bob Vasher from NYC. Feels like we never left the Fordham series with all the guys from the Big Apple we grabbed in that series so far. I wonder if there's gems in this game, as I'm adding Jim Thomas, 2-star small forward to the board, 6'7" out of Arkansas. Just the fact that he's B+ and B+, I don't know, maybe he's not a 2-star. I wonder if there's gems in this game. I'm not really sure myself on that, but I just think that that's a really good starting point. Same thing with Theodore Dotson, B- and A-. Here's my short list that I have so far. I might add a couple more guys. I have 12 right now, but right now we're kind of running out of players because it's either their interest is really low and they're a good player, or their interest is high and they're a 1-star with D-, D+. So I'm kind of at a loss right now. Recruiting looks like it's not going to be very fruitful here in year 1, but right now we have 3 point guards, all 2 stars. We have 2 all-state players in Tim Corso and Hendrick O'Donnell. 1 shooting guard in Robert Simon from Carmel, Indiana, with high interest, A- defensive ratings. We have a lot of wings I've added to the team with our big lack of that position. We got 4 of them, all with pretty solid ratings and interest in all categories. And the 1 3-star that I have on the board, Bob Vasher, power forward from NYC. And we have LeVar Jefferson and a couple centers as well. I like Jefferson as the 2-star. I think he's probably my favorite 2-star with the height and the offense. And just for some more cushion, I'm going to add a couple more guys. I have Maximilian Akers from New Mexico, C+, 2-star. Paul Rosado from Altoona, PA, 2-star power forward. And lastly, James Vasher, to make it 15 players on our short list. I don't necessarily think that you need to have all 25 players picked out, but especially with the way that recruiting works in this game, as you guys will see. Welcome to the start of the NCAA season. We are now participating in training camp, but with the way the recruiting works in Dynasty mode, I was confused on this when I was a kid. I didn't play much of this game because I didn't really understand the Dynasty mode like that, but apparently the recruiting points you get, as you will see here when I move over to the recruiting part of things, you see you have 163 points remaining. That's not monthly, that's not weekly, that's not daily, that's yearly. So that is your recruiting budget for the entire season. So I would just remember being a kid and just blowing my whole, budget, if you will, in the first day or first, couple weeks. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I'm not really sure what it takes to, really discover how much you like a player. Let's see, we have overview, the interest bar with their top schools, some performance that we can unlock. And I'm sure we'll unlock that with these contact options, scouting options, and pitch options. I'm sorry, I'm sure this is probably so hard to watch for some of you guys that have played NCAA 10 a lot or have seen other YouTubers play this. This is very new to me, so that's part of the reason why it's going to be pretty tough for me to adjust this game, but it could add some more, I feel like, depth to it. First things first, I do want to have a little something on Bob Vasher. I want to get a little bit of action done and thrown his way, so we'll email him and send him a letter, and we'll watch a game as well. So they want us to win the season, so finish over 50%, maintain prestige rating, and beat our rival, which obviously Navy's one of our rivals. I don't know if the game has Air Force down as one, but I would assume so. And I think the last one is Colgate as well. So as we can beat a rival, we're going to have ample opportunity to do that. And here's our goals once again and our top players in this screen. Let's see, we have some alumni challenges. For one, we have the home opener sets the tone for the entire season, and the alumni want us to win the home opener. So, and I believe I have a feeling as to what that ties into. So under the school pride feature, I think that our alumni can buy us better weight rooms, practice gyms, study hall. Let's see. So I guess to accomplish these things, such as winning the home opener, that's what can unlock better buildings for our team. But I think we've waited around enough. I think it's time to hop into our first game, and it's going to be against Penn State, as you can see here on the 6th. And there is a reason why I wanted to open up against Penn State. I wanted to return a favor to a buddy of mine. I actually have a copy of NCAA 10. My disc, however, does not work anymore. For some reason, it did not work whenever I've tried to put it in to record the first episode of this series. So my good buddy Aiden let me borrow his disc, and he's a Penn State fan, so I wanted to open up against the Nittany Lions to give him a little bit of salute. So Aiden, if you're watching this, I do appreciate you, my man. Alright, so first episode of the Army Black Knights rebuild. I have no idea where this is going to go. The speed rebuild, though, is underway. Army, Penn State. Let's get it cracking, guys. First game of the rebuild.
Army enters the season unranked.
Unless you know something I don't, the good money's not on these guys. I don't think the odds makers even know the school had a team. Nevertheless, it's the start of the season, and I guess their parents are excited.
And there are the starting lineups for each team.
I'll tell you, the starting five isn't always your five best players. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand.
All right, guys are in position, and we're ready for the tip. So here we go.
All right, gentlemen, so here is the ESPN NCAA Gamecast. Basically, you hit A, and the game tips off. You can speed this up a little bit as well. As let's see here, I'm not really sure how I want to handle this. However, the Army Black Knights are beating Penn State by 6 at the half. As let's turn this over to the good guys. Molina with 14, Wicks with 16, and they're playing a lot of minutes, so I guess the whole file out at 4 thing is not going to be applicable or help out very much with this game, as our 6-man Collins is barely checked in. However, here in the first game of the rebuild, we will be hopping in for the final 2 minutes of Penn State and Army. Let's do it. So as I said, CPU versus CPU gameplay here, 60-58. Penn State leads Army, but surprisingly, Penn State, who's not really known for their basketball program, came into this game and the season with a A- rating across the board. As it goes in, and the low post shot is off the mark. Please excuse me as I'm actually still learning the names of this team that I decided to choose to rebuild. As you can tell, I'm very prepared for this first episode of the Army Speed rebuild. But that does bring up an interesting point that I wanted to touch on. As this pass goes inside, knocked away by Corey Molina, our best shooter. Let's see, are we looking to run a little bit here? Doesn't look like it. This is not a game with a lot of fast breaking, unlike College Hoops 2K8. But that does bring up something that I wanted to touch base on as Molina's blocked. I know you guys, most of you guys must be subscribed to my channel for the structure. And, I try to make the most out of my time with scripts and really structured videos. Nice stop there by the Black Knights. But that's one thing I'm kind of worried about, Are you guys going to enjoy this structure in this series as much as the other stuff I post, as the game-tying shot is drilled by Molina from the elbow? Now with 38 seconds to go, goes down into the low post. Great defense there by Eric Nolan, the junior. 6'8", 261 pounds. Not an easy guy to match up with down there. And inside to the low block. Baby jumper goes. Dylan Vaughn, our best big man on the team. Timeout, Nittany Lions. The first game of Black Knights basketball here on College Sports Revived will be going down to perhaps the last shot with 25.5 ticks left. But yeah, as we watch this last shot, make sure you guys leave down in the comment section. I hope you guys really enjoy this series. Let me know if there's anything you want to be fixed or changed, or if you have any input on how you want this series to go down, as the game-tying shot by the Nittany Lions is knocked down from about 5 feet out. And then Wicks gives it away. And the Nittany Lions call timeouts after the turnover. It was a lazy pass by our team captain, Wicks, who has 24 points today. Might have just given away our last chance to finish this off in regulation. 9 seconds left, inbound to the point guard. 6-5, goes behind the back, Euro step inside, he's fouled! And the look on Coach Fitz's face says it all. Cabina Kid, with one move and go against Torrey Wicks, has a chance to take the lead, and the first one's good. This may be a heartbreaker for Coach Fitz and company. Did not expect them to be this close to knocking off a Big Ten opponent here in the first game of the series, but led to a timeout, and we'll see what we have drawn up. Now, one thing I do definitely remember about this game is just how bad this CPU is. It's part of the reasons why I never got into it, because what these guys like to do is they like to dribble the ball up at about 1 mile an hour, even though there's 6 seconds left to go in the game, and then chuck it from half court. So this timeout is pretty much just a formality, as what I just said I guarantee you is about to happen. Here goes Torrey Wicks, who walks it up like it's a normal Saturday stroll, and he misses it off the back iron. So Penn State survives the upset, although Army can definitely pat themselves on the back for this one. I did not expect to be in this game. Molina with 21, Wicks with 24, 12 rebounds from Dylan Vaughn. But let's see here, a lot of turnovers for this team today. And I also wanted to check the minutes played. Yeah, as you can see, just not a lot of time from the reserves, unfortunately. So I'm not going to simcast every game, but obviously I got to see Fordham, and we're a C's across the board. Fordham is a C+, and looks like they're going to pull away here in the final stretch as we lose to 16 to our Rams. 14 and 21 from Dylan Vaughn, but Wicks had an off day shooting the ball despite his 12 assists. And we allowed Woodard to drop 46 and 9 on us. Raphael Woodard, a 6'5 sophomore who has a 58 three-point rating and a slasher archetype. 94 offensive ability, though. That's pretty impressive, and he's very quick. Yep, he drops a 40 piece on our head. And we also blew the Alumni Challenge results, getting dealt that really tough loss to Fordham. So sometimes it happens that way. The ones we love are the ones that hurt us the most. Well, good and bad, the 3-star Vasher wants to come and doesn't know why we haven't contacted him yet. I mean, I kind of did contact him already, but okay. We will keep this up. We fell out of his top schools. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the struggle bus for a little bit here. We'll send them a package. Ty Cotton was also Georgia's Mr. Basketball. So we will give him everything we can at this point. Or excuse me, I said he was Mr. Basketball. He was just All-State. My apologies. And so is LeVar Jefferson from Savannah, Georgia. So we will contact him as well. We'll do the same for Peter Page, a power post. Say that 5 times fast. A 6'10 center from New Jersey. I try to switch it up from Gamecast a little bit to regular simming. As you can see, the results did not work in our favor at all. No help there, as Appalachian State comes in and beats us on our home floor. Vaughn with 12, Molina with 21, but on an inefficient day. 90-61 loss to Ryder, which is in Jersey City. And they had a small forward go off as well, as Nathan Bridges drops 30. I don't know if Kyle Trainer is going to be the guy that we need to have starting at small forward. We have to do something. He's averaging 10 points per game. That's pretty, more than I thought he was going to do, but on 32% shooting. I don't know how many threes he's taken on the year. He's taken 23 of them. That's pretty impressive. However, he's shooting 2 for 14 on his twos, so I don't know about Kyle Trainer. And on top of that, he keeps getting smoked by everyone we play, so I don't really know. I think Trainer might have to come off the bench, and maybe we get some more shooting in with Mark Cooley. And you know what? Why not give Cooley the start here at small forward? Because as you can see, whenever we move over to the Air Force side of things, they run with a little small ball action themselves, with Andrew Booth being their top scorer of their starting 5 and 6'4" native point guard playing the small forward spot. So we'll try our small ball lineup and see if we can finally score our first win. Now Air Force is giving it to us as well, as we might be making a second half comeback here. Okay, up by a basket with 5 and some change left to go. And Air Force just took the lead, and we will join the game here with 1:44 left to go, trying to get our first win of the series. So here is number 12 making his first start. I already forget his name. I'm sorry. It goes to the corner for the lead. Bang! Torrey Wicks takes the lead. I got a little confused there. Wait, no, it was Corey Molina, not Torrey Wicks. I get confused with the Torrey and Corey. Get the steal, guys. Oh, we got the stop at least. Eric Nolan rising up for the rebound. So yes, it's Torrey Wicks, our point guard, and Corey Molina, our 2 guard. As dumping it down low inside, we get 2 more points. Let's go. Dylan Vaughn takes the lead, or rather extends the lead. Timeout, Air Force. So the Falcons have 32 seconds to work with, and rushing the ball up is the Falcons, and they immediately turn it over. And are they going to foul? Army draining this clock, and finally they elect to foul. Torrey Wicks, who has not missed a free throw on the young season, heads to the line for 1-1. Got the front end. So we finally get the goose egg out of the win column, 76-71, thanks to Dylan Vaughn's near 2020 game. But Andrew Booth, that small forward of the other team, as Mark Cooley made his first start and had to guard him, he had 27, 9, and 6. So the opposing small forwards continue to torch us. However, we did get the win, and Mark Cooley held his own in his first start. 3 threes made in 38 minutes. Trainer coming off the bench played a single minute. I'm not sure if I want that, but unfortunately, I don't have that flexibility like I do in College Hoops 2K to really fine-tune the rotation how I want it. And after our first win, Bob Vasher, my man, he is going up in interest. As you can see, that arrow right there to the right of your screen. We're the #1 recruit for him as well. And let's see, we've unlocked some other things, including some details and some pitch options. So he has an array of moves he uses to score around the basket. Doubtful that he will develop anything beyond an average court speed. He's probably got 2 years of college ball before going pro. Yeah, so I'm down to 50 points, and let's see, I want to offer him a scholarship at the very least. If I have some trouble with that, then I'll go into the calls, but I just really need to make my points stretch as much as I can with all this turnover coming up. So if I need to, I'll pull out the phone calls, but with him being the highest interest, I'll keep it at that for now. Man, it really stinks here in year 1, man, with these points and having to have at least 6, 7 guys you have to have in this class, because I really want to call Harmon's coach here, the point guard out of Washington. I want to phone his coach and have a conversation to really hammer it home and perhaps swing him our way a little bit. But just with 40 points remaining in the entire season, I can't do it, you know, unless if I really have some blue chip guy, which I really don't outside of the 1 3-star. I can't afford to do it. So I just have to offer scholarships and hope, you know, and keep emailing and doing the little, things just to save my recruiting pennies, you know. So it's really tough here in season 1, as I will continue to work on these 2 point guards, Hendrick O'Donnell as well. So after our first win of the series, we're now 1-4 overall, and we have plenty of time off before our next game against Cincinnati on the 27th. And in the meantime, we got to sim another week, which means another recruiting update. And that also means we have some good news from the recruiting side of things as the good vibes continue to come. Our first signee of the series, Bob Vasher, 6'10" post player from NYC, the 208th ranked player in this season's class, 6'10", C+ overall player. And we also secured that Washington point guard as well, so it's good. I'm not having to use too many points to secure some players, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I was kind of scared that I was going to be running short with my points, but it seems like I'm doing a pretty decent job so far of maximizing my limited points that I have, as we also finally have been unlocking some high school stats and performance ratings from these guys as well. So then we split the next 2 games, a loss against Cincinnati, no surprise there, but then we blow out North Dakota State. Take a look at the Cincinnati Bearcats game. This time, again, it was the small forward who led them in scoring, and Mark Cooley struggled, and Corey Molina was really chucking them as he attempted 25 out of our, 9, 10, 13, 20, 24, 29. So he almost outshot the entire team by himself. Corey Molina, I'm surprised he didn't find a spot next to me during the game. You'll take the good with the bad, though, man. When you have a sophomore averaging 22.5 points, though, I don't mean to be too hard on him. 22.5 points and pretty good percentages across the board. I will take that with this team right now that is searching for an identity. But then Mark Cooley with a bounce-back game. His best game as a starter and as a player, really, in his young career so far in the Young Series. He dropped 20, hit 4 threes, and it was a really balanced scoring day overall. It's a new week, which means we might have some new signees. However, nothing in the center department. Already signed Bob Basher. We got both of the forwards. We got James Vasher and Jeff Herrera, two-star small forwards. Look, this first class is not going to be all that sexy or glamorous, but right now I'm just looking for players, and then the development will come later on. And when we start winning some more games, maybe we'll be able to upgrade to 3- and 4-star players. But right now, I just want to get the hang of things, as we also grab Hendrick O'Donnell's John Hancock as well, as we get both of the point guards I wanted. Right now, if we can just get both centers, that would make it right now a 7-man class at the moment if we can do that. So I'd be more than happy with just the 2 centers. And LeVar Jefferson, I mean, I like him because he's all state, so we'll stick with him. It looks like it shouldn't be too much longer with him as well, as I'll offer him a scholarship. And after every month, as we now have just turned the calendar to December, I want to go over the top 25 and the conference rankings and the team stats as well. So here in the top 25, well, we got Minnesota jumping up to top 5. We see the Terps up there too. Michigan State, Oklahoma State, wow. We got Illinois, who jumped from 25 to 14. Ohio State stays put at 16. Wake Forest is a top 25 team. Gordon Hayward's Butler Bulldogs are in the top 25 as well. And UConn will round it out. And another thing that's pretty cool about this game is it looks like you can check out bracketology whenever you really want. And I think that's awesome because in College Hoops 2K, you have to wait until really late in the year to see the projected brackets, when here we're a month in and we can see it all in real time. So I'm a big fan of that here in NCAA 10. And something I just stumbled on that's pretty crazy, Devin Wade from UT Martin is leading the country in points per game. If you guys don't know who this is, I think this is the in real life version of Dwight Easley, our point guard from the UT Martin rebuild in 2K8. That's pretty crazy that I started a new series on a new game and the players from my past find a way to make some noise. Dwight Easley leading the conference, the nation in points per game is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Leader in points, no surprise, is Corey Molina. Wicks with 12 and 5 so far through his season. He also leads in steals per game as well. I think I'll go column by column. Jamie Rutledge off the bench. Wow, hasn't started a game yet this year, and I don't think he's made much noise in the games that we watched at the end of the game, but he's making some plays off the bench. And Eric Noland is a starter, but he's only averaging 1.1 points per game on 2 for 21 shooting. Maybe something to consider changing moving forward, as we do have another key big off the bench that I could swap him in for. That is Calfani Groves, who doesn't look like he's doing too much better. 1 for 9 shooting for Groves, the 6'9 junior. And Dylan Vaughn is, in fact, amongst the leaders in Division I rebounds per game, with Grant Hinton of UNC leading the field. And we had 24 from Wicks, but not much else, as Calfani Groves, though, did have a respectable day off the bench. But finally, Eric Noland found his footing a little bit with a decent 3 for 4 game. We're going to keep simming here through the Winthrop game. And I think it's time we try to make a change or something, because something's clearly not working as we get blown out 70-55 to the Winthrop Eagles. Mark Cooley continues to struggle from inside the arc, but he fills it up from outside the arc. Corey Molina with 1 point today. Just not going to get it done whenever your top scorer on the season only puts up 1 point. And Groves again played well. Kyle Traynor 0 for 7 off the bench. Pretty ugly any way you look at it. And as you can see here, the recruiting class continues to get filled out. This is what I'm talking about. We get both the centers to come on aboard. So now we have a 8-man recruiting class. I believe that was all of the scholarships we had to allot, and it was. So it's basically recruiting taken care of here in season 1. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Perhaps in the future, I'll go after some guys that aren't totally, on the highest interest rating. Maybe I'll go for some mediums if it means I can get better caliber players. We'll figure that out in the future. But here in season 1, our class is finished. But now we need to focus on actually winning some freaking games. So I've seen enough of Eric Nolan. He's just not getting it done on the offensive end. Kalfani Groves is averaging more points than him while playing significantly less minutes, albeit it is only 2 points per game. So let's just see if we can make that little adjustment. I'll try to get Kyle Trainer some more minutes again because I did like what he was doing on the offensive end early on in the season. And let's get Jamie Rutledge up there as well. So the first start of the season of Kalfani Groves. Let's see how it goes as the Catamounts, who are a B- team, take a huge run into the locker room, and it doesn't look like they're going to look back either as they coast to an 89-64 win. Yet again, man, we just can't get any offense inside the perimeter, as I saw there. I believe we had 27 field goals as a team, with 10 of them coming from behind the line. Just not enough inside. Nolan played 0 minutes. How did Groves do? He was quiet. Just can't find it, man. Maybe we got to play some small ball and put where is he at? Put Trainer up there at the small ball 4, perhaps. Oh boy, are we gonna hop into the Skyhawk Arena, our old stomping ground? Why not? 1:43 left to go. Let's see if we can salvage this game. Molina with 24, Vaughn with 16 and 17. Oh yeah, by the way, look at the bottom ticker. 47 points from Devin Wade, aka Dwight Easley. Yep, Devin Wade has all the right to celebrate. In case you didn't believe me, 49 points surrendered to the UT Martin Skyhawks. Point guard, aka Dwight Easley, a very familiar face. 5-point loss to the Skyhawks as season 1 continues to spiral out of control for Coach Fitz and the Black Knights. Actually, the whole Kyle Trainer at the 4 spot, yeah, that'll have to be put on hold. He suffered a neck injury, which is why he didn't log any minutes. It doesn't look like we'll be able to see that for a little bit. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out. Game doesn't say. But yeah, Trainer at the 4, it's going to have to put on hold. Finally a win. It feels so good. 3-10 on the year. And we didn't really let anybody kill us. I mean, the center did, but if it's Dylan Vaughn, if you know anything about him, he's going to kill you right back with a double-double. That's what I'm talking about. And everybody in the starting 5 with double-digit scoring figures. That's what I'm talking about. That is a team win right there, including the bench guys. Anybody who checked into the game, they all put up at least a point. So that's what I'm talking about there. And in the final non-conference game of the year, the celebration was indeed short-lived, surrendering 90 points to the Drexel Dragons. Molina 22, Torrey Wicks 19, but just not a lot from anyone else. The bench, though, came off and had a nice day. Jamie Rutledge, I'm really thinking about giving him more minutes and perhaps making him the 6th man if the game's not going to play Anthony Collins no matter where I put him off the bench. And we have 2 more months into the season. Purdue really shot up. I think Texas did as well. Minnesota continues to be the surprise of season 1. My Buckeyes also are in the top 10 as well. California fell a little bit. Villanova is in the top 25. And Wake Forest is still here, and West Virginia has 4 losses. They might be bouncing out soon, but for the most part, it's kind of stayed the same over the last month. Hey, I got good news, guys. We're 2 months into the year, and we're not in last place. Lehigh and American have somehow not managed to win more games than we have, with The latter only scoring 1 win so far. Lafayette 11-4, Holy Cross 9-6. They are the only 2 teams above 500 in the Patriot League. But hey, look at to the left. It's been a rough year, but at least we get some headlines there. The fans at Buffalo head home disappointed. Our fans have felt that plenty this year. You guys can handle 1 loss. It's fine. Taking a look at the team stats, it hasn't gotten much better. Still 66 points per game. We're still near the bottom of rebounds. Assists, I believe we jumped Navy since the last time we saw this, and we also still lead the conference in steals. Last in blocks, however, looking for a defensive presence down there. And our field goal shooting has gone down 0.01% since I've last checked. And we're still shooting a modest 37% from 3. Okay, so I finally figured out how to find where the injury updates are, and it's in the emails. And Trainer will be out for a month with that neck spasm. And as we begin conference play, we will get the top team in the conference, at least the non-conference part of our schedules. The Lafayette Leopards, who finished the non-conference slate 11-4. That'll be our first opponent in 2 out of our first 3 games. Just want to take a look at their team ratings. Only a C+. Okay, well, let's try it out, see how it goes. So we've been going back and forth with Lafayette all game long, but it looks like the Leopards just have a little bit too much talent for us. We kept it close all the way through, but our offense just went so cold there. We, I believe, had 35 points in the first half of action, but finishing with 54, yeah, that means we only scored 21 in the second half. Or excuse me, it was 34 and 20, but regardless, the point still stands. With Cooley shooting 4 for 17 and Wick shooting 3 for 20. We really went cold there in the second half. It was like when I was watching the game cast, there was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes at a time, it felt like, without a score. So that's definitely not what we expected there, although we held tough with them for a half. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking because it feels like every time I do, I just jinx us. And again, Mark Cooley is just not helping the team out. What is he down to now, man? Yeah, this is not good enough to be starting. I just don't know, man. There's just a couple guys on the team that are a couple spots that I just can't find a permanent solution for. Calfani grows. I think I'm going to keep with him at the 4 because he can at least make his free throws. He shot 12 of 13 on the year, so at least he can do that for us. Dylan Vaughn is Dylan Vaughn, no problems there. But then, you know, it's just, I can't figure it out, man. Eric Nolan is an offensive liability. I can't have him starting shooting 25% as a big. Yeah, man, it just continues to spiral out of control here in Season 1. I really pray that we have a gem or 2 coming up the pipeline. And guess who we have to play again? We have to play the Lafayette Leopards for the second time in less than a week. And it's probably going to go just how you expect. Yeah, the losses keep coming, and the game messed with my rotations again, giving Anthony Collins a start, which must mean that, let's see. I don't know, I just figured with the starting 5 all switched around again, I just figured that Kyle Trainer would be back from injury because that's what happened last time when he left the rotation, but perhaps somebody else got hurt. No. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Just put me out of my misery. Just put me down like a lame dog. I have no backup bigs. I'm gonna have to basically play small ball with somebody at the 4. No, I really can't. I don't have anybody who has the size to do it. I was thinking, you know, I kind of have to take Nolan or Groves out of the starting 5 so we have somebody who can swap in for them, but I just don't have the personnel to do that. I don't have any backup bigs. The coach before me is an idiot. I'm going to give Jamian Rutledge a start because he actually has been. Every time I see his name, it seems like he's playing well off the bench. So we'll give him the start, see what he can do. And Anthony Collins, I don't know. I'll go Anthony Collins because he's been really shafted by the rotations in this game. And I want to see him play big minutes. Guys, this is bad. This is really, really bad. 39 points. I mean, they had 2 guys combined outscore us. Guys, this is really bad. Oh my goodness, Torrey Wicks. I just don't think playing him at the 3 is the spot for him. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. If we lose to American, I will actually end the series right now. I'm not kidding you. I might actually do it. Oh yeah, down to a D+. Boy, I am just putting the touch of Midas into this team, aren't I? Yeah, this is going to be the most exciting game of basketball you've ever seen. D+, D+. Let's go. Let's get it tipped off. When I said I might not ever do this series again if we lose to American University, I was half kidding. Come on. Come on, Army. Okay, up by 3 at the half. No. Come on, this team was 1-14. I checked, their only win out of conference was against Morgan freaking State. No, we're not doing this. No, you're not giving me a heart attack against a 1-win team out of conference. Please. Okay, big 3 ball. That was Wicks. He's up to 18 points and 11 assists. We gotta hop in, boys. So we got the 3-pointer, then we gotta stop, but I guess we couldn't get the score to take the lead, of course. As American with the ball. Tries to drive in the lane. That one's rejected. Eric Nolan with the block. If he's not going to score, he's got to be able to do that. The minutes turn to seconds, and we almost turn it over. I think we might have actually turned it over. Oh my goodness. Why would you try to save that? I don't know who that was, but I might actually revoke their scholarship for saving that basketball. Oh no, it's tipped. Here he comes through the lane. The finger roll goes. Oh my goodness. A 6-second difference between the 2 game clocks. We gotta go. American in the zone. Molina, our best shooter. Oh my goodness. Torrey Wicks just threw it away. You got a foul, kid. Oh my god. What is going on, man? Oh, please, somebody. This was a bad idea. I shouldn't have started a new series. Why am I doing this to myself? Wait, did Dylan Vaughn just check in? I thought he was hurt. I don't know what's going on anymore. I've lost control of this team. I think Dylan Vaughn still has like the foot injury, but he's seen enough and he just wants to go out there. He just subbed himself in with the cast on. Oh, good job. Yeah, good job. Yeah, it's not like we're going to meet him at any point in this game. Yeah. Okay, cool. 56% from the line on his season. The front end sinks through. 4-point game. I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. I really don't. He gets 2 of 2, and I want to jump off a cliff. I might actually blow my lid if I see that American has like not won since the Morgan State win. If they have 2 wins now after they beat us, I might actually flip. Oh, yep. Okay. This is so bad. I did not expect this at all. I'm so sorry I'm subjecting you to this torture. Like, we're not even competitive, man. Like, we're not even competitive anymore, man. This is just, it's getting worse and worse by the week. And you know what? What else do we have to lose? Let's give Jamian Rutledge his first start of his career. Why not? I mean, you know, there's not really much else to do at this point. than just, you know, let everybody get some time. In fact, I might actually put in some guys at the bottom of our bench over some guys who have been pissing me off. So we'll see how that goes. And coming up is our biggest rival, one of the biggest rivalries in all of college athletics, honestly. Our first Army-Navy matchup. Let's see, man. I don't know if there was ever a time to break this. What's this, an 8-game losing streak now? This would be the time. Off to a fast start. Off to a very fast start. But as you guys have heard me say on this channel before, it's hard to play with a big lead early. As you can tell, as Navy gets it down to double digits, rather, gets it down to single digits, as the first half comes to an end and takes the lead with about 8 minutes to play. Looks like we're going to have some more action here at the end of a game. 1:13 left to play. Molina with 20, Collins with 12, Wicks with 11. All right, fellas, right in off the inbound. It's, you guessed it, Molina doing what he does, firing a bad shot up and missing it. Especially whenever we probably need to kill some clock, although we get the stop, so at least we did something right there. Wicks outside, short corner, nice pass. Inside, no! Eric Nolan just smoked a gimme. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, that tends to happen with a guy who averages 2.1 points per game on the year, playing starters minutes, and gets beat on the backdoor cut as well. Midshipmen take the lead, and they're pressing full court. But look at that, Torrey Wicks is a one-man press break there. What play do we have drawn up, though? Come on, this is not the play. This is not the play. Give it to a guard. Give it to a guard, please. Give it to a guard. He gets fouled. Oh, my goodness. Eric Nolan. The last man you'd expect to see Euro stepping his way to a scoring chance. Why does Dylan Vaughn keep checking into a game with a bad foot? I don't understand. And I was actually really close. He's actually averaging 2.2 points, not 2.1. The free throw at least ties it. That's big time right there. Got to try to snap this 8-game losing streak. Come on, Eric Nolan. I know I've given you a hard time this year, but we really need you, big dog. He gets 2 for 2. Navy, timeout. That's what I'm talking about. One more stop, guys. 14 seconds flat left to work with. Navy crosses the timeline. Right flank fading away. It's off. Man, that shot looked good out of the hand. Why are you throwing that outlet pass there? Oh my goodness. Stop giving me heart attacks, guys. Just make it easy on me for once. We only are going to have 4 wins if we can just... Well, I don't want to speak too soon. And there it is. We break the 8-game losing streak. You can see Corey Molina. That's what I'm doing in my room right now. Yep, I'm running around. I'm pumping, fist pumping, and talking to people, imaginary people that I've gained in my head after the PTSD from season 1 of this series. But we will ignore that and continue onward. Win number 4 is ours. Corey Molina. I thought he took a terrible shot there, but he likes to do that to us. Yeah, not a lot of production here. Jamian Rutledge's first game as a starter. Didn't produce a whole lot scoring the ball, but 4 offensive rebounds. I'm sure that helped a lot, especially with our bigs being so short-staffed. And Chris Wiggins led them with 22 and 21. And on the last day of January, as the calendar turns to February, I would like to simcast our final meeting with our rivals, Navy. This is probably these 2 games every year against them. I'm probably going to simcast both of them every single time just because of the rivalry. And they get our revenge, showing us that it was a fluke with Chris Wiggins completely owning every part of our team again with 26 and 18, Wicks 15, Molina 19. I think you probably could have guessed this, but Army is last in the Patriot League. So I'm looking at the 2009-10 Patriot League season, and it does look like all 8 teams make the postseason tournament. And it's pretty funny because in that season in real life, Lehigh was the 1 seed in that tournament, and Army was the 8th seed, and they beat them by 19 in the first round of that conference tournament. So we're we're pretty close to real life here in a bad way, sadly. And check out Torrey Wicks, 40% three-point shooter. We just need to find offense inside the key, and I think we'll be a lot better off. Dylan Vaughn, we need you back, man. When are you coming back? Gosh. Mark Cooley, 6 points per game, but on horrific efficiency. That's continued all the way throughout the season. In fact, it's even gotten worse. 5 games left to go, guys, including one against American. If we get swept by American, I don't even know. Oh my god. Oh my. It's in another week into the season, and unsurprisingly, we had 2 more losses. Competitive losses, but 2 losses nonetheless. And I wanted to simcast these last 2 games. Obviously, I want to simcast this one because it's the last game of the year. And I wanted to do it for this Holy Cross game as well, because it is Dylan Vaughn's last, or rather, first game back into the starting lineup. And I wanted to see what he could do, if he could perhaps lead us back to a win. We all know we look like a much different team when he's out on the floor. And right as I say that, Holy Cross beats us up, down, all around on the basketball court. I am out of options for this team. We scored 46 points, and let's see, Molina had 22 of those, and I guarantee you took about 5 million bajillion shots. Vaughn had 6 and 8. Pretty bit of a quiet day by his standards in his return to the lineup. Rutledge struggled, and Bob Holland, 24 points for Holy Cross. Yeah, this ticket is $30 to watch us play, the 4-win Army team play. I'm sorry, but if you're paying $30 to watch this dumpster fire, then I feel sorry for you. I really do. Let's see. In-season recruiting ends in 1 week. We already got all of our guys, and they're probably all going to come in here and suck too, so it's all right. Doesn't matter. It's been a long year. That's all I'm trying to say. It's been a long year. Can we at least end it on a win? Well, as you'll be able to see in a second, no, we would not. Army has failed to win yet again. This time 68-59 on their home floor against the Bucknell Bison, as season 1 comes to an end mercifully. But yep, like I expected, we are the 8th seed, and we'll be playing the 1 seed Lafayette in the Patriot League tournament. Lehigh will then play American, Holy Cross against Colgate, Bucknell and Navy is the 4-5 game. Those are the first round matchups. Let's see if we can, I don't know, somehow create some noise as we head into our postseason tournament. And you guys, if you guys have been here before, you've probably heard me say this, but this right here, this is, like, all jokes aside, the beauty of college basketball, because if you make your preseason tournament, like, we went 4-24. We had one of the most miserable seasons ever recorded in college basketball history. But if we can somehow win our conference tournament, I don't know how we'll be able to do that, as both teams start shooting absolutely horrible from the field. But if we can somehow make some noise, then all that goes to the wayside and we go dancing. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna turn on the on switch anytime now. Are they? Oh, no, they're just getting my hopes up. Look, yeah, we're gonna go through one of these stretches where we don't score. You know what? Let me go a little bit further. What is going on? Okay, all right. It's starting to hit me what we're accomplishing right now. Okay. Let's head into this absolutely horrible 49-47 game right now and see if we can somehow knock off the 1 seed in our conference tournament. You know, there's a lot of seniors on this team. As you guys know, we have one underclassman, the man with the ball right there, number 22. And yeah, maybe it's starting to hit some of these guys that they're not going to be able to do this anymore. So perhaps they want to make this last Patriot League run their best one, despite the season they've had so far. Oh, what a shot! It's Kyle Trainer for 3. That's honestly the only reason why I still have him in the starting 5 is for that reason right there. But then, not too long after Lafayette knocks down the equalizer. Oh my goodness, be careful with the passes, guys. Tough shot there from Kalfani Graves, who's playing minutes over Eric Nolan here down the stretch. I do like that. That's kind of how I want it. Inside, though. This one is a bucket that ties up the game. Oh my goodness. What else did we expect? This Lafayette team with championship aspirations and March Madness hopes. They are on upset watch thanks to a 4-win Army team playing their tails off all game long. But normally when the skill gap is this far away, as wow, he misses the second one. But normally when the skill gap is this far apart, you know, it's just talent that wins these types of games. So that's what Lafayette is going to try to cling on to here. That's a lot of contact. Come on. I need the calls to go both ways. Yes, we take the lead. Dylan Vaughn, finger roll finish. A minute to play. The 8th seed Army making the Lafayette Leopards sweat here. The back cut, the kick out. We're on top of that. Got to make them earn it in the paint here down the stretch. Inside. Good defense there by Wicks. He gets the turnaround jumper to fall. 48 seconds left now. Oh my goodness, this is March. It came early this year. High screen by Kalfani Groves. The shot is off the mark by Wicks. And we're going to have to play for a stop. Please don't... Well, we might have to foul, actually. This differential is not enough unless the Leopards take a bad shot here. That's a bad shot, but it goes in somehow from the baseline. So it works all the same. Up ahead. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Torrey Wicks just threw it away. Why does he keep making boneheaded plays at the end of games? I will never understand. Torrey Wicks, I can't believe I'm saying this, my man, but I can't wait till you're out of here. I'm pretty sure you're a senior, and I want you gone. I can't do this. I need this episode to end right now. Oh my. Well, I'll give us one thing. We definitely held tough against the best team in the conference. Man, I really wanted this game. I'm sure you guys did too. Torrey Wicks in his last game as a Black Knight shoots 2 for 17. And the leading scorer for Lafayette was Theo Towns and Michael Mason. So, that is the end of Season 1, guys. I think I'll at least simulate through March Madness and all that this episode. One thing that I think we can all agree on, though, is just the lack of upsets in this game. College Hoops 2K has a much better, I guess, tournament system in terms of logic. Just, come on, just no upsets here, man. Come on, it feels like in every, let's see, we have 1 12 seed, 1 10 seed, 2 10 seeds, and that's it in the first round. I mean, it feels like College Hoops 2K, it's a lot less predictable, or more, yeah, a lot less predictable, just like in real life. But here in the West region, Kansas versus Nova is the regional final with Kansas knocking them off. Ohio State plays Tennessee, and the Volunteers take them down. Washington against Texas, another 2 seed, reigns victorious as the Longhorns continue to dance, and Duke goes to the Final Four as well. Duke cannot create their magic from real life. However, they lose to Kansas, and Texas takes down Tennessee. Kansas against Texas, a real-life Big 12 rivalry nowadays, and it'll be the Kansas Jayhawks blowing them out thanks to 33 points from Devin Metcalf. Doug Mills led the Longhorns with 25. Let's see, players leaving now. I'm assuming, yep, some graduations. Yep. Mark Cooley transferring. You know, I don't even know. Like, I feel like I should have just let that happen, because it's not like other teams are gonna be able to talk their guys in, and we did just win 4 freaking games, so I feel like Mark Cooley transferring is fine. I mean, losing some shooting, and it's gonna make things harder for us, but okay. Now I see though. Now I think we had 13 recruiting points left, so you can use that in case somebody wants to leave. So, okay, I know how that works now. I'm probably not going to use it, but now I know how it works. And before I leave here, I do want to check out team stats, and I will be writing these down just to see our progression throughout the series. So we finished last in team points per game, second to last in rebounds per game, second to last in assists per game. We were flirting with the top team, stealing the ball all season long, tied for last in blocks per game, third to last in offensive rebounds per game, and that really dropped off. We were actually league average at least in defensive rebounds per game. I don't know what happened there. Well, I do know what happened there. Our best rebounder, one of the best rebounders in the country, missed a lot of time. And wow, that just completely fell off a cliff, didn't it? We were hovering around at least 40% for a lot of the year. That's down to 37.6. And I'm actually curious if that's the worst in the country, how bad that is. Jesus, that is horrible. It's not the worst in the country, but it's not that far off either. So that's something to keep in mind moving into next season. And we did get Othello Duplessis. He does sign with us, 7'3", out of Arizona. And the only thing we know is that he's a D+ overall, but I don't know. We need heights and we need bigs, so I am more than content with that. Classes here. So we signed 1 3-star and 8 2-stars, and we are actually the only team in the Patriot League to sign a 3-star prospect, which is pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that, especially when you come from College Hoops 2K8, and it feels like all these smaller conferences are maybe not as small as the Patriot League, but all these smaller conferences like the A10, man, you'd have 5-star teams or 5-star players going to St. Joe's and St. Louis, as you guys have seen in my Coach Carter rebuild. So guys, this brings us to the end of the first episode of the Army Black Knights NCAA Basketball 10 speed rebuild. I hope you guys enjoyed despite the losing. Hopefully it'll get better next episode, man, and hopefully this young core will just develop. Right now that's what the name of the game is, so we'll continue to work with that young core and build them up and hopefully have a brighter future than our 4-win year one. So if it's any consolation, like I said earlier, Army did finish in last place in real life in the Patriot League in this season in real life. So, you know, we're working with a pretty bad team here. So hopefully it gets better. It's probably gonna get worse before it does, but eventually we'll get there, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this new series. Let me guys know what you think, what you liked, what you didn't like, what I should change, and you know, hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, though. So my name is College Sports Survive signing out. Hope you guys have a great day and stay tuned for more Fordham Rams Legacy Mode action and for more Army Black Knights speed rebuild here on NCAA Basketball 10.